The bar is loaded.
Pardon me?
The bar for the last year.
Okay, we are live for our work session.
Sorry, I was waiting for the client.
The work session.
Yeah, it's a work session. So there's no interaction with you or any other guests. So phones are silent. And you can rock and roll. Hello. Take over her space. Hi, gorgeous. Watch me work, yeah.
I'm watching you.
Your friend here. You guys be like that. Or is it the last 3 meetings that we don't have minutes for? And Catchy is coming? Do you know?
Yeah.
She will.
Yeah.
Okay. You all may have noticed printouts of the rules and procedures and codes, so it's something that Catchy requested, and I guess there's a reason she'll share with us what that is. Let's really not have any.
Right.
Okay, thank you. Look at me, you spoil me. I rely on you for these things. How's it going getting applicants to bring in finishes, making sure they have finishes?
So, we haven't had much of an opportunity yet, because we just have these very thin agendas, but, just so you know, I'm gonna be, redoing the OpenGov portal. That will be specific to the type of application that someone has, because right now it's just like an open, like wastebasket or whatever, into our system.
Right.
In the future, it'll be like, pull down this thing, and the menu that says what you're doing, and it must match the planning examiner report. Right?
Okay.
So it'll say like, new route, right? And then when you do that, then it will pop up a list of requirements. Like,
Okay.
you must have this, this,
Okay.
this, or your application
Will not be reviewed.
and then underneath the catalog box, it will have your capital letters like. Most freaky.
Yeah, bring examples,
Yeah.
catalog, cuts, tear sheets.
Letter that I usually send out, which gives all the deadlines and the requirements. And again, ensure that in that letter, said you must come with the example of what you will not be.
Right.
Kind of reiterated that.
Is there a screen or an opportunity to put in place for residents? There have been changes So read carefully. So all those folks who are used to, you know, whatever they've been used to, to let them know.
When they're initial.
Wayfinding, please note there are changes. Yeah, as a courtesy, well,
Right.
as a function.
Well, it's not planning board employees so far. This is like, this kind of like.
Oh, so you've done those?
Yeah.
Oh, great. And we're last, is that what you're telling?
Well, that, because, well, I'm saving stuff. But also because ARB is more.
Do you feel best right now? No. I'm kidding.
Listen to this charmer.
Because there's more different types of applications that have different requirements. So, so that's why I kind of practice on the.
Good
planning
word,
board.
okay,
Yeah,
practice,
that way
that's good, you're getting there,
But
okay.
hopefully.
Yeah, that's gonna,
Yeah, because we just have this modernization problem, where people go to our website and make applications, and then there's like the directions aren't clear.
sure, sure, Sure.
And so I'm hoping that by doing that,
yeah, it should,
and then it prompts them to call us and ask if they have a question, it prompts them to call us. and
Yeah.
say, Better have, you know.
yeah, yeah,
Don't show up with the owner, don't just show
please
up.
be sure,
Right.
yeah,
If
if it,
I get rid of that too,
yeah.
you know, to be like, go to the-
Yeah, so that they know it will not be reviewed. You know, that language is there.
You know, a lot of it's just, the problem is a lot of our system is very outdated.
I understand. Well, I'm glad, thank you for addressing it.
Sure,
And,
sure.
yeah, yeah, for sure. So this has some angles? Oh, no, this is for this. Oh, okay, I was looking at the bump outs here. And I was probably, this is what trying to mimic, but not really.
No, so I'm looking at this.
There's
This
no
thing
brackets there, there's no.
Heavy. I mean, like it's gonna fall. I don't even know how you construct something like that. Because that's pretty, I mean, it's heavy duty.
I need to see some kind of nuance in the front. They can't just have this flat, especially with one. Hello.
Hey, that's good. I wonder.
We see you have something printed out for us. Is there a reason?
They got it.
I don't know, maybe we don't discuss it, but that time was, an applicant was saying you don't have review of change drainage.
Oh, yeah, you got our back.
So that was just the language
Okay.
to show that, you know.
Is it highlighted?
Yes,
Okay.
doesn't say French drains specifically, but it says,
Okay, and
Points
this,
that out the last, when we
okay,
had that little
what's showing,
thing.
and this,
the one thing,
and the code,
yes.
okay, up here, okay. And any reason for this?
That was just, there was a question as to, you know, a project not going before the ARB.
This one.
So I wasn't sure, you know, what type of work was being done, but that just explains, not everything comes before the ARB. Some things are exempt. That's a list of what is covered.
Let me show you the interpretation.
We got about 2 minutes, just to let you guys know. 6:27, 3 minutes. What is it?
It's 25.
Oh, wow. But you know what? Some of the, if you look next door,
Yeah, they're all skinny.
yeah,
but
which is
I thought they
probably
were
why.
But I thought they
They
said they
got-
weren't building
they got
any more
variance,
near
they got
those
variance.
requirements, because a lot of houses are 25 by 100,
Mhm,
you know. But they
mhm,
said they weren't approving anymore.
mhm. Who said that and when?
I think the building requirements, you can't build a house anymore 25 by 100, right? On a 25 by 100 lot, correct? That changed that the rule now is 50 by 100 for lot size?
for buildable lots, for a buildable lot, is the requirement now 50 by 100?
Absolutely.
Well, it would be, it was a small lot, so,
And then anything less than that requires a variance.
yeah, yeah.
This looks like.
I mean, the regulations are not changed, you know, whatever it's.
Mhm.
In this case, it's a thing where like this one got proceed, like they built in a lot that previously had a house on it.
Mhm.
All of the neighboring lots are the same exact size and it passes on.
Mhm.
That was the justification for like the variance to the. Yeah, yeah.
It looks like,
Like the three neighboring lots. the
Oh,
three
yeah,
lots that
to the
are
right,
the
yeah.
exact same size, all of the houses on it. So it's not like not keeping the neighborhood. But
Mhm.
where a single family house, you grow small, 30 square feet.
Fifty.
4,500 square feet.
Oh, 45.
It's-
All right. Yeah. All
And a
right.
3-family, any difference between a 2 and a 3-family?
3 family, you need to have 6,750.
William, ready?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
We're always on the Pacific Forward.
pardon me?
I'm just, going.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We're good.
We're waiting on the applicant. I guess he's waiting on,
Yeah.
It's pretty example.
he's messing up my record. I was. Move this along quickly. Are you waiting for the? Oh, okay, great. Oh, come on in. You have to carry that in the elevator. That's the sound. There we go. Yeah,
Yes.
How are you?
we're great. All right, we're gonna get ourselves started. So the Architectural Review Board meeting for April 23rd, 2025, the public meeting is now in session. The first item on the agenda is roll call.
Linda Sandra.
Sylvia Woods.
Robin Myers.
Buzz Riley.
Okay, the second is approval of the minutes. As I understand it, the minutes are
They haven't been reviewed.
reviewed. Okay, so we cannot review them. So if someone would make a motion for us to review those minutes at the next meeting.
I will make a motion that the minutes be reviewed at our next meeting.
Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Item number 3, public meeting. This is a new public hearing. 3.1 ARB 25-4, 356 Union Avenue, section 169.31, block 3127, lot 15 in the RMF 6.75 multifamily residence district. We have received an affidavit showing that there was a sign posted. Appropriately, the owner Daniel Amakushi. Did that do that? Okay. All right, represented by, you are not Shaheen, your name,
Kevin Munene,
Kevin. Spell your last name, please.
Munene.
Munene. Thank you. Okay. Union Avenue, the applicant is requesting a certificate of appropriateness to construct a proposed 3-story, 3-family residential building. You have the floor.
So yeah, my name is Kevin Munene, representing Shine Medallion, address 2 Wilson Place, Vernon, New York, 10550. Our proposal is for a 3-story, 3-family apartment house. It's really an apartment building. It's located in the RMF 6.75 zone. The property, the lot itself is about 1,178 square feet,
Which is,
25 by 105. 25 frontage and 105 on the side yards. That's how the side of the property lines. The building footprint itself covers, no, sorry, the lot area is 2625, sorry. And then the building footprint is 1178 square feet, 1,178 square feet. 3-story, meaning basement, which comes with a story in terms of the usage right now, and first floor and second floor. We have the driveway at the front of the property, an asphalt driveway. And towards the side, we have the walkway towards the basement unit, which is made of bluestone pavers. And walk upstairs, concrete steps that up to the first floor. So the basement is pretty much covering a whole 9 feet of, exposure at the front. So onto the layout of the floor. Yeah, as mentioned, the basement has a unit, a studio unit towards the back of the property. It's about 367 square feet. The front of the property has a 4-car garage. The first floor and the second floor have identical layouts with 2-bedroom units on each floor. Yeah, so that's pretty much the layout of the building. One studio in the basement, and 1 apartment on each floor, the first and second floor. Onto the elevation. So I noticed before my presentation, the elevation is not necessarily match the rendering, though we're going with the colors on the rendering. So I'm gonna do the elevation presentation with the rendering colors, which is gray, but on the elevation, you know, it's kind of a yellow thin color. But we're going with the gray hardboard siding. The bottom siding color is lighter than the top one. It's a light mist color, like gray, and then the shade of the top one is gray salt. We have samples. I'll present the samples to you. The steps are concrete steps with white stucco. We did not obtain samples of the stucco, but it's white stucco. We can present that to you when we obtain the samples. The steps are made of bluestone pavers on each step, matching the sidewalk towards the basement unit. The front door is aluminum, painted white, and all the trims around the window are painted white. So essentially, the colors on the rendering is what we're going by. My client here has done a previous building. He has an actual photo of the building that's finished. If you guys want to see it, just to see something that depicts the rendering. Yeah, so I can present the samples to you so you can.
Where is this other house? Okay, do you have a photo of it? I'd be interested in seeing it.
The shingles. You guys are the logo.
Yeah, I was gonna suggest maybe pulling up that table. Awesome, look like wheels.
So that's the light mist hardyboard at the bottom, and then this is the dark. Get the name of it out. Gray salt. Gray
At the
salt.
top,
Yeah, the top. Bluestone, he obtained a sample from his previous site, so it looks a little dirty because it's not brand new, but it's going to be pretty much similar to this.
and where's this bluestone?
On two steps as you go up, and then on the sidewalk, there's a walk.
So it's the treads are this bluestone?
Yeah, the trends.
Okay,
yeah.
and the risers will be,
Similar,
Stucco.
trying to
Stuck-
play off.
stucco. Okay.
Similar to the sides,
Uh-huh,
and then
I'd like to see that, I'm sorry.
Sure.
Mhm.
And then the rest of the bluestone is the walkway towards the back.
Mhm.
Sorry, the screen's getting cracked there.
Happens. Okay. So this is the house. Yeah. a little bit more bluestone. That's what we use.
You know, it's the-
Can you? Yeah.
Is this property about twice the size as
Yeah,
this one?
It's much.
Flatter.
Yeah. it's
Yeah.
much-
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna clarify, for you, the bluestone is also going to be used on the papers along the walkway towards the back.
Okay, okay. Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry.
Put those same rigid line, north and south of the gable. Makes it pop.
Mhm.
And where's the lighting?
Exterior lighting.
We have a light at the walkway towards the back and then two lights at the front, leading into the driveway.
What kind of lights?
They are, LED lights, wall mounted.
Is that a cut of
Yeah,
yours?
actually,
That's
that's
the,
the spec.
where are these lights going? I'm sorry.
They're Lithonia lights.
No, where they're going to be applied on the
Oh,
structure.
so there's two lights at the front of the property, one right on top of the steps towards the first floor, and then,
Mhm.
So they're wall mounted.
yeah, one. And then one right above the garage entry. And one towards the side door to the studio unit at this point.
That's a bit utility like. Something a little bit more decorative would be, recommended.
What are you doing here with the lighting? In that one, I was putting it, so we did a couple of like recessed lock, like hockey puck style.
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3,
Okay,
instead of putting a sconce next to the front door.
and how about at the garage?
So that's essentially.
Sitting there.
Can you do the same lighting on this, on the air overhang?
Well, that overhang is a bit heavy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I don't know.
Can you go to the rendering? Compared to what you have in this house, that is proportional and.
Yeah. That's-
Things look like they want. This looks like it is
Sitting
going to
there.
crush you when you go into the front door. It's over a window and a door, and then you've got two windows floating over here. Not seeing any structural supports with that heavy of an object, it's just not.
Yeah, it kind of looks, like it doesn't belong. In terms of this proportion of the
So the
scale.
intention was to kind of just, sorry.
Of
speaking
course.
as a term.
No, it's fine.
I think there should be something there. I think we would all agree to
Yeah.
have some type of overhang,
Yeah, I think the idea was just to
but it's
get
the
it out
way
of
it's
that just
designed.
box. Give some kind of dimension, give some kind of.
So as far as context,
Yeah.
right across the street is a house with a
Okay.
wall that is more in keeping. I realize it's, well, I don't know, that home, well, no, it's an old home. But this is above the door, which is where it should be, and scale wise, there's no supports, you see there's no vertical supports there, but scale wise, it's not at all as heavy as that.
Okay.
So while I'm on the exterior, so one of the things too, that you have on this street is under the gable. I realize that these are probably occupied floors and yours is not. But you do have fenestration happening up here. And I think adding, even if it's a decorative element, God forbid, I hate decorative elements, but having something up there, whether it be an applied louver, doesn't have to be, let air in or anything. But something that softens,
You're saying right here?
no. go
At the
up.
top,
Up here?
Yeah.
right in the center-ish,
in the center.
Here?
yeah.
Much like these windows are in the center of the gable.
You wanna break that up, okay?
And
Yes.
I'm not trying to spend your money, I promise. That's why I'm saying, just a decorative element, I think would be more in keeping with the street. And I recognize that your house is gonna stand out tremendously.
And,
What if I did something similar to that,
Yes,
where I did. Like, even like a small little, like, that black metal,
with the metal.
that metal look is kind of in,
yeah.
so kind of do something,
Yeah,
you know. Here. to
Well,
kind of
it's-
give it that,
but
you know,
that's
rather
not-
than metal, that's no problem too, I don't wanna,
Wait,
I'm
I'm sorry.
suggesting.
I think like.
This
two
isn't,
different
we're not talking about two different things. You're not talking about the gable we're talking about, right? The over the door.
You're talking,
Over the door.
well, right now, yeah, let's back up here. This here in the door, you wanna shrink this in, is that what you're saying?
I think it should be over the door and I think it should be more in scale and not be as heavy. And like I said, across the street is
Is that,
So you wanna have something,
I think.
Yeah,
you
it's
need-
gonna have
I don't want to design it for
yeah,
you,
yeah, I
Yeah.
understand.
but I think you need to look at it proportionately.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just want to make sure we weren't talking about two different
understood,
things.
yep,
Because you see in your house in Scarsdale, you have in the gable a window. And it really sort of softens that a little bit. Keeps it from being so austere.
okay,
And like I said, I'm not trying to spend money, but I think you could find, even if it's just a decorative element, because that's an attic space, right? It's not,
attic,
yeah, it's not. Is it accessible?
yeah, I mean, I would intend on, I'd love to have that second floor units, in that attic space. You know, it saves me at least a clutter in space.
Talking about the building department.
Yeah,
But-
I mean, I could definitely get a decorative smaller window in there. It might not be double hung,
That's
things like
okay,
that.
that's okay. I mean, you could do
Something square,
or a circle.
can do that.
I feel like,
I'd like to stick to
Square.
where else.
Square.
Good, so everything, I have plans,
Yeah.
but I'm okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I can,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, with it, whatever it is.
So if imagining that, visualizing what the two adjustments we just talked about, please tell me your name again,
Dan,
Dan. In my head, I'm thinking, and again, like Buzz was saying, I don't wanna obviously spend your money or redesign it. But one of the features on every house next to it, the three houses to the right facing of this property, have some type of protrusion. And I'm thinking in this structure, there should be something to nod to that.
Okay.
Whether it's the top floor or the main floor. I'm thinking main floor, I would probably consider maybe some kind of bay window there. And then the panes that you have a 2/2 in the other house that you did in Scarsdale. Instead of having a 0/0, put some panes in this, it just needs some personality. It needs to be thought about. And it doesn't seem to be thought about in relationship to the architecture, some of the older architectural elements that we see in the houses next to it.
right, I mean, to be clear, this house is on a completely different lot,
I know.
in a
I
completely,
know.
very different design, where
I
we have a
know.
lot more space to.
And that's why I said nod.
You know, but I mean, what exactly is it? I wanna make sure I nail it for when we, you know, when there's an
Yeah.
opportunity to come back. So we're gonna shrink up and proportionalize
Yeah,
you know, the first gable coming up, right?
Yes,
Okay.
adding a window to that.
You'd rather have, sorry, you'd rather see, I mean, you made a comment on the windows and then also you wanted something on top. So we can definitely provide a louver or a window.
Yes,
picture
Provide
window of some
something.
kind, okay?
Right. Paint the windows again,
Pane windows, I mean, like grids,
yes.
Nice.
2/2.
you like the grids,
Well, the 2/2 windows that you have on the other structure, which has a similar application of the hardy plank,
Mhm.
same colors. Adds some warmth and personality to it, to the structure.
so Dan, I'm sorry, can you bring that a little closer? Yeah, those are double hung,
Yeah, and they're 2/2.
yeah, those are all-
that gives it a lot of character,
Yeah,
okay,
and I think that's not expensive and
like it's,
bang for the buck, so to speak.
right,
so that, just to let you know, that I can definitely do that with. But
Mhm.
usually what I would do is, I'm just keeping it to rent it, and in the rental, how I've had grids in the past, once they broke off, they were such a pain, and a lot of these are, again, older homes as well. There's a serious
can they be
pain.
inside now? I've seen them inside the window.
That's where all the new ones are.
Yeah, I would do that,
So we can do that, okay.
yeah,
To shrink that, the windows, window up top, okay,
and I really think some kind of element that, a bow or a bay, you know, again, I don't know if it's that top part, I think that, that's in the design process that you'll know where it's best to do that, but in my head, I'm thinking without, obviously playing with it, for that to be on the main floor, as opposed to the 3 windows that you see. That there's maybe a bay window there, or some type of bay or bow there.
Dan, these are the 3 houses next to yours, and that's the bay. that Mr. Myers is talking.
As a nod to that aesthetic, especially if they're, again, right next to. And you kind of know that originally, that lot had the same type of house. So,
Okay,
yeah. But that's something you're gonna have to really probably play with as you're creating the proportions of the overhang over the door, and as you're considering whether that's a window or a louver at the roof line. So you're gonna have to play with that to see, how that window
okay,
feature is treated. Yeah.
okay, all right. I mean, are we being specific as far as which floor? That's, you need some kind of.
I would say
dimensional-
main floor, but again, as the person
Yeah,
that's
we see what makes
designing it,
Yeah,
sometimes it feels, you've got a proportion over the door to manage, so you'll know intuitively whether or not it's at the top where that visual weight will work best, or whether it's the main floor.
okay,
Any security concerns over the door with the large glass, the front door with the large glass panel?
that's gonna be the vestibule,
Okay.
so this way, it's more of a decorative, you have another,
I mean, I like the idea that you have a vision panel, that you can see people coming and going.
yeah.
I just don't see it that often. And that's
Yeah.
neither here nor there, it's just. First thing that comes to mind is security, that somebody,
Okay,
but that's your call. Aesthetically, I think it's fine.
okay. I can definitely change that to half glass.
I'm not telling you to do anything with it, that was more curious on my part.
Okay,
Pop a color to the front door wouldn't be a bad idea.
what's that?
Pop
Pop a
color.
color to the front door wouldn't be a bad idea.
Say like a different color,
Pardon me?
you see a different color on the front?
A pop of color.
Oh, gotcha.
You've seen doors that have barn red or a rich blue. No, a pop of color. You said brown? Bless you. But
I love that.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think something like that is just a simple way of really making the property stand out.
Great.
Thank you.
I didn't know you did that. That would be great. I love that.
Yeah.
We just did one in, where like it was like a light blue, like a sky blue almost.
Exactly.
It was like, it was really sweet.
Exactly.
Yeah, cool. All right,
And the lighting, just give that a little love.
okay.
That looks a little too utilitarian.
We're trying to be as risky.
Well, you
possible,
can
and
still,
with
you can still
giving-
do that, but
Yeah.
make it nice.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
Okay,
And I mean, the discs to me are good because they're hidden.
Okay.
And, but I'm looking at the gable at the front door, that to me would be a great place to, just like you did with the front porch on the Scarsdale. But I think with from Myers point, at the garage, at the corners, try to do something a little bit more
Yeah,
with character.
yeah, and there's so many options these days based on, there isn't a whole lot of space to have to play with, where there could be a minimal effect and just have lighting, for the safety and aesthetics of the residents.
you're saying in the entry, where do you mean?
In the overhang?
In the overhang?
Well, what were you,
I was saying that
Talking
you could do
about-
the recessed lighting there. I just think that's always so, you could put a decorative pendant in there.
Well, my intention was to do pretty much what I have here. I have motion sensor lighting in the vestibule and at the, motion sensor
Garage.
light at the garage, like, pretty standard. And then it was either gonna have a sconce or, same thing like they have here, pocket puck overhead, which would be motion as well. I mean,
okay, we'll articulate that in your final drawing, so that we kind of know what that,
okay,
where that's gonna be. what
Okay.
that's gonna look like.
cool.
So Kevin and Shaheen are fabulous with their lush landscaping that they put into their renderings.
Yeah. I was getting ready to ask about the plantings.
Go ahead then.
Beautiful. What type
So
of
great work.
plantings are?
Very well.
Tell us about the plantings
Oh, so yeah,
that,
we have two different species, actually three. So in the back, we have the rhododendron, that name is unpronounceable for me. Phoenix or azalea, rhododendron, yeah, in the back. Alternating with the swamp azalea, in the back, and then also on the sides as well. And we have a seasonal flowering plants, right here and towards the front area, so you kind of right past the door entry to the basement and right on the side of the garage area in the back.
So. We don't. We have them? Oh,
So C300,
I see. Okay. Where are you putting the maple?
Oh yeah, that should not be there. We have just the swamp azalea as the seasonal flowers.
Okay. So Shaheen, thank you for listening to me about my planting.
Are there any other comments, Commissioner Sanchez? Thoughts?
I'm liking it.
I have a curious question, but not related to review, but you've got a 4-car camping garage with a door going into the studio. I just find,
I thought about that.
I find it very interesting.
Like, who gets the garage?
Well, I mean, we gotta definitely work that out.
I mean, in terms of access for, otherwise the person that lives in the studio has to walk around to the back, right?
Well, yeah, but the person in the studio has its own separate entrance.
Which
Fine.
is,
I think it's like something.
it's on the side,
Yeah.
okay, I don't know why.
And my intention really, I mean, I was keeping it open, but you have, it's the first floor that has it, I believe it goes down to. Excuse me. Yeah, he has his own entrance, I mean, and then he can go into the garage, I mean, I would probably.
No, that makes sense,
Okay.
they have access.
But everybody else has to go all the way down to the driveway and do the. quicker.
For the people who have the garage space, yeah.
Yes.
Is that a 2-car or one?
It says 4, but, yeah,
Well, 2 in the front. and 2 in the back.
yeah, nobody's
It's
moving
tandem.
cars.
It's tandem.
Nobody-
Two cars.
okay.
Okay,
But
that's
your
not
rental
in our
better
purview
first
anyway.
floor.
No, I
That was just a
curious.
curious question. We're not gonna belabor that. Okay, is there, well, I guess you'll be coming back with making those, adjustments. We're looking forward to that. And
It's off
thank
to a
you.
great start.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Thank you for, just being amenable to
What?
our suggestions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, cool.
And cut sheets for your light fixtures, next time, maybe. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, is there any other business? All right, is there? No,
It's coming up.
is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Yeah, I will make a motion during the meeting.